the first generation BMW M3. The E30 model starts the history of the legendary sports car and the most successful touring car ever. The board of management once again wanted to see a series production car on the racetrack. In accordance to the organization rules at the time, a series car must be like the future race car in most parts. That meant for us we had to develop a race car that had to be built in the series production process. On the other hand, a lot of features that are important in everyday use, like the comfort or the braking system with ABS, had to be integrated. Here we had for the first time a compromise between a race car and a normal road car. That was a revolution amongst sports cars. Depending on the model, the first M3 brings between 195 and 238 horsepower to the road. Compared to the regular 3 Series, this car had more power, but also numerous other changes. The M3 had a much stiffer chassis. We achieved this for the first time through the gluing of the front and the rear window. The front axle was a completely new construction with more caster, a differently structured stabilizer, and an increase in direct steering. We gained an improved responsiveness, a better feedback of the steering, and a much more directional stability by high velocities. The power source of the first generation M3 is a 2.3-liter engine with 4 cylinders. The engine has everything a racing motor needs: 2 overhead camshafts, 4 valves, and a specially shaped combustion chamber with a central position of the spark plug, very important for high performance. The M3 of the first generation claimed more than 1,500 victories and is unbeaten to this day as a touring car. The success of the E30 M3 was phenomenal. It was not only the performance of the car, it was also the strategy. We sold the so-called kit. That meant everyone could get such a vehicle kit and race competitively. New standards were also set in lightweight construction. The base model of the sports car weighs only 1,200 kilograms. The aerodynamic finishing can be seen amongst others with the big front spoiler, the side sills, and the rear wing. To gain the motorsport homologation, we had to build 5,000 vehicles within 12 months. Our sales department was skeptical at first. After all, the M3 was 1.5 times more expensive as the strongest regular E30, the 325i. But people liked it. The sales figures were considerably higher than we expected. Almost 18,000 vehicles rolled off the assembly line. In 1989, the first generation M3 was also available as a convertible. Moreover, BMW brought 2 Evolution special editions onto the market with even more power and dynamics. To see this very successful race car on the streets is really fantastic. This car is a legend. The following generations were always based on the series vehicle. With the E30, this was different. Only the spirit of how to develop such a car is still present.
The first time I heard about the idea for us to design a car for GT6, I actually didn't quite believe it at the same time. I thought it was pretty amazing opportunity for us.
BMW stands for sheer driving pleasure, and this fits very much to our cooperation.
グランツーリスモがすごいわけじゃないんですよ。グランツーリスモに 収録されている車を作っている人たちがすごいんですね。そのエネルギーがグランツーリスモを通じてプレイヤーに伝わっている、そういうことだと思いますね。
As you know, we do concept cars, but we rarely do concept cars that can drive, full on like they do in the virtual world of GT6. That's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Our engineers on the one side and on the other side our designers worked very hard through several months.
The design process behind this car is similar to what we usually do, but maybe in a much more compact version, if you will. Everything we did, aerodynamic functions as well as all the other technical functions, are not just a design issue. It has to work really well. I mean, it's designed and conceived, engineered actually to race. Engineered in the virtual world, but engineered to race and win.
ビジョン GT カー、どこが BMW らしいかというと、まずコンパクトなサイズ、それと、前後の、張り出した、オーバーフェンダー、ボクシーなところはボクシーで残していて、でもきちんと、モダンでエレガントなラインも、入っていて。
I think when you look at the car, you'll see typical BMW proportions with the short front overhang, the long hood, the rearward cabin, but all of that in an extreme package, basically. Super low, super wide. So the first impact from this car is going to be just like pure BMW racing feeling. You will see as well some typical BMW icons, the kidneys, the double around headlamps, the L-shaped tail lamps, the Hofmeister kink. All of that are things that you find on our production cars, and you will find on that car as well. It's this red thread that goes through every BMW that is essential to what we do. This car is pure BMW sportiness, pure BMW dynamics. It's a precise driving machine that just looks the part and actually drives exactly the way you expect a BMW to drive.